Hello everyone, welcome back to the devlog. If you follow the devlog, you probably noticed that I was gone for a while. I was getting my wisdom teeth removed, but I'm back. I wasn't really able to work in the game in the meantime, so I took a short, like week-long break, but I'm back on it. And I'm just here to show a few things that I've done, and also talk about a few things because I've had a lot of time to think about what I want to make with the game. So I want to chat a little bit and show you a few things that I've done. So first of all, I've been working on a character status menu. It's not necessarily an inventory or a character screen. It's more like an overall thing. I don't really want to make like different menus for different things. Like I don't really like. I don't mind games who have like a ton of different menus, but that's not what I want to do. So what I'm working on right now is a character status screen menu. That menu is going to have all the information you need on the character, stylized and put in together in a stylized way, right? So it looks good, so it doesn't look like basic computer menu from years ago, but something a little bit more sleek and stylish, right? So I'm working on that. I'm going to show you that in an instant. In the game, because I'm going to show it to you in the game, and because I'm doing that, I'm having to think a lot about the things that appear on this on this menu, obviously. So what do I show in the character status menu? So there are a few metrics that the player character is, I guess, subject to, that I've thought about. Obviously, there's going to be health. The character has a health bar. The character has maybe something else I have thought about is hunger, morale. When I say morale, I mean like morale in the main sense of the word, right? But also mental health, not necessarily just morale in depressed or happy, but also anxious, psychotic, things like that, because work on the station as a scientist can become a bit difficult in this game, and it will, because you will have, I've thought about a bit of the gameplay loop and something like that, and things like that, and I'll go over it later, maybe in a later video, not in this video, because I need to figure it out a bit more precisely, and also come up with a way to present it in a nice way. For now, it's just a few notes on a text file somewhere, so it's not really presentable yet. But as it stands, I think it will be necessary to have a mental health bar that will inevitably, because of the way the game works, will go down. So there's going to be an health bar that's dependent on a few metrics that the character is subjected to. So I'm going to open the menu. So it's not done, obviously, but a few of the things I've been working on are there already. So as you can see, it's not going to be transparent in the back, it's just I haven't thought of anything to put there. Okay, so I'm back. So as you can see on the left, you have a few things. So the background is obviously the player character, as I was saying, and there are, for now, 3 gauges. They're all full, and they might not appear to be gauges just yet. So the main one I want to put the focus on is this one. This is the overall health bar. This will go down as the health of the character goes down, if it goes down, which, let's be real, it will. this does not like have a value in and of itself. Its value is dependent on the other metrics of the character's health. This is like an overall representation of the character's health. So it depends. For now, I've only come up with 3 different metrics. It depends, as I said, on the morale. This is this gauge. It's a radial progress bar, right? So for now it's full, and as it goes down, it will just empty in counterclockwise. So as this goes down, the health bar goes down. However, you can have a 0 morale bar, a completely empty morale bar. You will not have an empty health bar, right? It makes some sense. I mean, obviously it's not entirely realistic. Maybe it's going to need a little bit of tweaking, right? But that's the concept. The health bar also depends on the hunger and thirst. This is represented by 1 bar, the stomach bar. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory, right? Hunger and thirst, you eat and you drink. I didn't really differentiate the two because I don't really want to make a system where you like can be thirsty but not hungry, hungry but not thirsty. That works in the survival environment, obviously, because water sources and food sources are very different in survival environments. Not in real life. Not in, well, survival situation are real life, but what I mean in this type of very civilized, very industrialized environment, the two are highly correlated, right? And the third metric, it doesn't show yet. I haven't thought of a good way to display it in a stylish way. It's going to be heat. Obviously, you're in Antarctica, and no matter how much heat the station is given, you're going to be cold at some point, and that's obviously not good if you're too cold. I'm also going to make a system when you can get too hot, because I think it's interesting. Like, it would be funny if you can just manage the thermostat and you set it way too high and you die of heat stroke because you're stupid or didn't pay attention to what you were doing. I think that's pretty funny. So yeah, but mostly it's going to be a thermometer that goes down. So yeah, all of these factors will change your health. Other factors that might change your health and that are not like a gauge, a bar or something like that are injuries that you might encounter along the way. Like for a scientist, good injuries like, I don't know, carpal tunnel syndrome, shit like that. That might happen. I don't know yet. But yeah, globally, that's what the character's health is going to depend on. Pretty simple. What took me the largest amount of time was making the graphics, obviously, and obviously implementing these systems into the gameplay loop later, which I have not done and barely even thought of yet. So that's for this half of the character status screen. Another part of the character status screen is this. This is going to be the player's notebook. This is where the player's objectives are going to show up. I don't know yet if it's going to be like something the player can write themselves on, like a character gives you a character gives you a task. Maybe, I don't know, go grab me a coffee, right? And the player writes it down and and removes it when they're done with it. Or if I'm going to make a quest journal system, basically. I'm not sure. I really like the idea of making it only user user generated, right? Because I think when I play games that force me to do this, I get really, really immersed, and I really enjoy the experience a lot more. It feels a lot more rewarding at the end. And I think that most players would not have the idea of making a small notebook where they write stuff about the game if it was not given to them in the game. Personally, for games that don't have quest journals, I grab a notebook on my desk and I start writing shit down, right? But I think putting it directly in the game gives the player the idea to do it if they don't have the idea, or even just a way to do it that's easy, right? Because I don't know, if you're playing on a laptop, it might not be easy to write shit down, right? You don't want to tab out of the game. If you don't have paper with you, stuff like that. I think it's a pretty good idea to do that. But I understand that sometimes people are not really into that, into the whole writing things down on paper, be it real or virtual. So I'll think about it. One of the reasons I want to do it, obviously, is for gameplay reasons, immersion reasons, stuff like that, because I like it. But also, it's much easier to program. I just need to make a little like text editor, and it's done. Whereas if I want to make a whole journal, like Skyrim style, right, it's going to be much harder to do. So I don't know. Whatever happens, I'm not going to make quest markers. I don't think it's one needed in this game, and I don't think it's really I don't necessarily like quest markers personally, most of the times. So yeah, that's not this kind of journal. So I've done that. I just took a picture of a notebook that I had laying on my desk. I made some animations to make it look pretty, and yeah. As for what's to come in this character status screen, the game is going to be played by reading a lot, reading shit, transcribing, doing a lot of puzzles and stuff like that. So you're going to gather a lot of items that are just text, pretty much. And other, obviously that's not the only thing you're gonna get, but a lot of the items you're gonna get are texts, samples, text samples, and because of that, I want to make two inventories. One inventory is for items that are not text, and one inventory that are for items that are text. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward actually, but yeah. You're going together to have a file where you put everything, a folder where you put all your files and stuff like that. That's pretty much like unlimited. You can put as many files in it as you want, and I hope I can manage it, but I'm probably going to make smart sorting things and stuff like that. And another inventory that's much smaller to carry actual items like a cup of coffee, an energy bar, something like that, so things like that. And it's going to be much smaller. You're going to be able to carry like one or two things at a time in your pockets, something like that. And it's going to be like a bit less useful, obviously, because you're a scientist in this game. You're not a warrior, you're not a thief, you're not like some sort of wild adventure. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say about this part of what I did. I'm going to elaborate a bit more and come back on what I did in the last video about the snow in the next part of the video. Okay, so I'm back. Actually, I said earlier that I was going to talk about the snow and everything, but I actually got kind of carried away, and instead I worked on the notepad system, on the notebook system. So I'm going to show you what I did. I'm pretty much done with it functionally, in terms of how it's gonna function in the game. I need to make it look a bit better, but and also I need to make it so that the notes the player takes are saved on the file, right? Because you want from one gaming session to another to keep your notes, but functionally it's working. So let me show it to you real quick. So alright, here's the game. For now it's kind of ugly. There is a big box. The pages and stuff are out of frame, but you know, just bear with me while well, it looks like that. It's easier for me to test if I can see the box. So, as I said, I took a decision whether I was going to make a user-generated notebook or Quest journal. This is a user-generated notebook. Maybe there's going to be some automatic addition as the game goes on, like maybe sometimes a page will be added by me, me as the game maker, right? But for the most of the time, it's going to be just you have something to do, like for example, at 5 p.m. In labs. Check on experiment, something like that. This is unexpected behavior, to be honest. The fact that it's not cutting off the text, but it's pretty simple to fix, so I'll do it later. So yeah, for example, you have this type of note, and you just you have another note, you have another na. If you run out of room, or if you need, for example, like let's just say you have these are your tasks. So you write your tasks, but you also want something like let's just say character names or something like that. You can like create different pages, and you can flip through them easily with this. So as I said, for now it's out of screen. I need to fix that, but that's pretty simple to do. So yeah, you can make pretty much as you want, as you need. You can flip through them like that. I haven't made a way to delete a page yet. I'm going to make that a bit later, because it's not as useful, I think, as the rest, as what I've done so far. So yeah, also I made a folder here. It's empty for now, it's useless for now, but it's going to be basically, I said earlier, the inventory for all your text files in the game. So yeah, I made the icon because it's easy. Yeah, I made it quickly in Inkscape, and yeah. That's pretty much it for this. I'm going to fix a few things. First of all, I'm going to make it look prettier. I'm going to fix the out of screen buttons, and I'm going to make it so that the player can save their, well, it saves. I'm going to make it so it saves automatically and you leave the game. So maybe not now, maybe the save system, I'll go over it much later, because that's the only thing that needs saving for now. So maybe that's not necessarily the best thing to begin with, to begin the save system with, because like I have no clue the extent of that I'm going to make the save system yet. So maybe that's going to be for later, but yeah. actually, let me just show you what I did with the snow, or what I did not do with the snow, actually. Because I said I was going to talk about it, but I don't think I'm going to work on that for a while now, so I might as well just show you a few things. So in the last episode I showed you snow, and I said that I was going to optimize it and make it a bit more modular, right? So I'm going to go in the editor to show you what I'm planning on doing and what I did. But for now, I'm going to show you something. So maybe you've seen this bar on the top left. This is a bar that's like for debug, just for me. That's a slider that I can move, so I can change the intensity of the snow. So for now, it's at maximum. And if I maybe go half, actually, this snow is going to be half as intense. It's not very obvious like that, obviously, because you can't really count the snowflakes, but if I make it really, really low, it becomes much more obvious. So that's one of the things. Yeah, basically there's no snow here, you know. There is, but it's probably getting caught on the hitbox, so it doesn't show up down there, because surprisingly, when you're below the base, there isn't that much snow falling down. Oh, there's a few flakes here and there, but yeah. So let me go back in the editor to show you what I'm planning on doing. It's in I think it's in test, maybe. No, it's probably in main. Yes. Okay. So what I did is I created a snow node, which with 4 different particle GPU particle generators, right? The reason I did it this way is when there is just one big particle generator for the whole map, the particles always fall down everywhere. So for instance, if you're first of all, if you're inside, the snow still is generated, which is useless for now. I'm going to add windows later, so that I can justify making snow even if you're inside most of the time. But let's just say you're on this end, in the cafeteria, right? You're on this end of the base. The snow is still being generated on the opposite side, which is not very resource smart, right? You're wasting a lot of resources doing that, because it generates up to like I think 8,000 particles for snow, so it's not very efficient. So what I did is I subdivided this into 4 different particle generators that all occupy a quarter of the snow area, and with custom AABB visibility AABB. So if you're not familiar with what this is, I wasn't, but basically when this big cube is on screen for the player, it means the particles are being generated, right? So it means that if you're on this end of the base, only this one and this one are being generated, while these are not, right? Obviously, the more you add and the smaller they are, the better it is for performance, I think. I mean, I haven't tested it yet, but it makes sense to me that it would be the case. So for now, I only did 4, because it's kind of annoying to do, actually. Like it's very tedious. 4 was alright, but the more you make, obviously, the more annoying it is. So, but I plan on making like maybe 16 total. I think it would be fine. I noticed that in some places, sometimes the four because there's only 4, sometimes if you're perfectly in the middle or something like that, or around that area, all 4 generate particles at one time. So obviously it's kind of very resource intensive like it's only one. So you know, if I make 8, if I make 16, if I make 32, yeah, it makes. I don't know if it works. I'm not sure exactly how it works actually, but I think it is how that works, and I think it would make it better. Anyways, that's what I plan on doing for optimizing the snow so that it runs on, first of all, my PC, but also lower end PCs. My PC is not the best, obviously, but I still have a pretty strong GPU, and you know, if it's laggy for me with a 2080, it's going to be laggy for people with basically anything below a 2080. So I don't want that to be, because especially since it's not a very pretty game, right? Well, I like the way it looks, but it's not visually, you wouldn't expect it to be very resource intensive, so I don't want it to be like one of those games that's like so poorly optimized that you're like, I can't, yeah. Anyways, that's one way. That's what I was doing, and I'm probably, obviously, it's going to be done, but it's not very interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to show it to you, like, real quick. As for the snow intensity, this is a script I'm working on. For now, it only works with snow intensity, which is the amount of snow particle that displayed. Here, the maximum is 5,000 actually. It's divided into the 4 different quadrants. It's going to be divided into, obviously, more as I add more, but for now it's just 4. Yup. I think that's pretty much it for now. Obviously, what I'm going to do is add wind. There is in these GPU particles, when you go into the process material, you have a thing called turbulence here. When enabled, it looks like when enabled, you can make it look like it's wind that's blowing the particles. So I'm going to make that. I'm going to create different presets for that, so that you have weak wind, no wind, very hard, strong wind, and stuff like that. Also, maybe depending on the snow intensity, maybe create a few presets that roll through the day and stuff like that. I'm going to have also to link it to the daylight cycle. I did a daylight cycle with here the sun. I have created this daylight cycle using an animation player. Basically, this this directional light 3D cycles through the sky, and the color also switches. Like at night, it's obviously dark; it doesn't emit any light. At dawn, it becomes orange. During the day, it's like a yellowish white, and obviously at dusk, it becomes orange again and back to black. So yeah, and with the rotation, oh, I don't think I did any rotation. I don't use that track actually. I used to. Maybe I'll see. I don't remember why I don't use that animation track anymore. Whatever. Basically, that's pretty much. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say, but yeah, the snow is going to be affected with by the daylight cycle. No, actually, it's not going to be affected by the daylight cycle, but it's going to be correlated to it, right? At certain times a day for a certain duration, it's going to switch. So yeah, this daylight cycle, for now, it's purely like how could I say? It's only visual. It's only like in appearance. It doesn't really work within the game, as in you can't reference the time of the day in the game at any point. You kind of need to. What I need to do is basically create a game variable that's linked to the timer of this animation, and depending on that time create like an arbitrary clock, right? That says like, okay, when the animation is at maybe 3000 seconds, it's noon. When it's at whatever, it's midnight. Pretty simple, but I need to make it right, and I need to create clocks that actually work around the station that can tell time. Maybe create a watch for the player. Maybe this watch is a smartwatch that also tells you the weather. I'm not sure yet. These are things that I'm considering anyways. I think it's going to be it for this video. It's kind of long already, and I'm just rambling now, so I think it's time I stop. So see you in the next vlog.